Hi, how are you? It's been a couple weeks. I've just been kind of really busy and so forth, as you all are. I know how it works and you know how it works too. But I was just wanting to come on real quick. I have a few minutes to just sort of, I have the house to myself, which is helpful to just sort of sit down and chat. So grab something to drink if you like, or a snack. Let's just chat a little bit about what's been going on and how I've been feeling about this Christmas season, because Christmas is different again this year. First off, nothing is horrible. Nothing, is catastrophically bad, and nothing like that. I am absolutely 1000% blessed beyond belief for all I have in my life. Let's get that straight out of the way, so I'm not whining and crying about anything. But I know that a lot of people go through different things at Christmas, and it's actually one of the hardest times in the year for people, and I've never had that. I've been blessed to not have that situation until the last couple years, because basically, traditionally, my Christmases and my holidays were absolutely, a Hallmark movie perfect in so many ways. I mean, of course, there were struggles, of course, but in general speaking, everything, was perfectly fine. I had a gorgeous, wonderful, beautiful growing up with the Christmases every year, and everything was nice, and family get-togethers, and, the parties and the things and the fun and whatever, all. And with the kids, when I had children, we always had really good Christmas times and lots of fun and things. So generally speaking, it's always been my very favorite time of year. I love the joy. It's just, I just realized I'm not wearing any of my rings because I was just redoing my nails. Anyway, or bracelets. Wow, I feel half naked. Anyway, I've always had the most amazing Christmases, in that it's just been full of family and love and joy and snowflakes and sledding and skating and all the things, the hot chocolate. I'm not talking that, we flew off to Paris every Christmas, that kind of thing. No, I'm just talking about being able to have that childhood Christmas, go caroling, all that stuff that, is just sort of part of the season, the Christmas cards and the cookies and, all that stuff. Some of our very favorite Christmases were when the girls were little, and we would try to celebrate with relatives and things a little bit ahead of time, or like the day after, that type of thing. But Christmas Day was ours, and there was one year where it was the very first year we ever got our first PlayStation, and we had the first game we ever played was The Grinch. This was like a PlayStation 1, kind of a thing, or like the very first PlayStation that ever existed. So this was a long time ago. And it was fun because we literally sat in our pajamas, eating Christmas cookies. I feel like for 3 days straight, it couldn't possibly have been. I'm sure we ate something else. We ate, leftovers from Christmas dinner and stuff, but we were so hooked on trying to figure out this game. This was before you had like cheat codes and all that kind of stuff for the regular person. I was online trying to figure out how to, how we were supposed to get up to this level and blah, blah, blah. And the kids were little. So Jim and I were helping, try to figure it out. And we could do some of the jumps and things that the kids couldn't do. And it was just like this whole family event. And we literally spent days just obsessed, and it was fun. I know that sounds really weird, but it was one of our favorite Christmases because it was relaxed. We were just playing games. We were eating Christmas cookies and leftovers. You know what I mean? We had a main Christmas meal on Christmas Day, and we ate the leftovers from that. But you know what I mean? And we would just go out and play in the snow. Those are the types of Christmases I mean when I say that they've been great. And they always have been. And they still are, okay? They still are. This Christmas, I'm really looking forward to all sorts of things, and I'll tell you more about that later. But I've always known that people have struggled. People have had not so gorgeous Christmases, that they've grown up with, and yet you see all the movies and the, stories and the songs and all that, that it's just, it's not like that for a lot of people, and it must be very, very hard to have either never had that situation or to have it and lost it. I know that a lot of people are struggling financially lately. There's a lot. So I know that there's so many people who are incredibly, incredibly struggling, and I'm not looking at that lightly. I'm very, very strongly feeling for those people for sure, and I'm doing everything I can to help out when I can. But for me, this Christmas has been different, and it's like the third year in a row that it's just kind of been different. And it's because of 2 years ago, December 10th, I lost my mother. She passed away. She had dementia, and it was a really, really long slog to get to that point when we lost her. And that was extremely hard. And I know I have videos on it and everything, but my heart, she's my total heart. So lost my mom 2 years ago, right before Christmas. Determined not to let that, affect Christmases. I know she would hate that I would do that, if that would be a problem. She would not be happy with me if I let Christmas be ruined because of that, So I was determined to make this not related, to how I feel about Christmas. Plus my dad was still with us, and he was in an extended assisted living facility of his choice. And so I was making sure that I kept everything as festive as I could for him, and visiting him constantly and talking to him constantly, and all that kind of stuff, and going there and making Christmas happy for him. And that just kind of helped, bring out the joy as much as possible. 10 months after I lost my mom, so last October, it's been barely a year, on the 27th, I lost my dad. So he passed away just barely a year ago. So this year, coming into the holiday season, for me, it starts in the autumn because I'm a Midwestern girl from birth and so forth, and all my life I've lived in the Midwest. And so it's time for pumpkins and all that stuff. So that all sets off the cooler weather, the sweaters, the pumpkins. That starts off then the holidays with Thanksgiving and Christmas, and that's the whole deal. So that hit right before Halloween. And again, it was fairly expected, but it went faster than we thought, and only 10 months after my mom passed. So they both wanted to be cremated, so we had their remains, and we decided to get together and have their burial of their remains last year, December 9th. So this last weekend, on Saturday was the 1-year anniversary of burying both my parents, and the day after that was the 2-year anniversary of the death of my mom. And a couple months before that, it was a year since my dad died. So all those things were like, ooh, just really kind of shots to the heart. Do you know what I mean? I mean, among all the other wonderful things happening, it's still fresh, and it still gets me, very, very much. I'm sure it always will, but these are still fresh early years. And Christmas is never the same without my parents. It's never going to be. That's all there is to it. There's just no getting around that. It's just working on a way to still find the joy and the happiness and so forth. And I am. So anyway, that's been a struggle. Wow. Then this year, my husband's family had, there was a death in his family. And so we flew to Chicago to then drive up with my sister-in-law and her husband for the funeral in Wisconsin. And that was on the December 1st, I believe it was, that was the funeral situation. So we decided, since my sister-in-law is there and we haven't seen her since we moved, and we miss her and her husband so, so much, we would make an extra day of it. And so we flew to Chicago and stayed near them, and they drove us up to Wisconsin for the funeral of his aunt, his tanta. And it was a beautiful ceremony. It rained all the way up there, the whole way to Wisconsin. It was just like not the best weather and so forth for traveling. But the beautiful thing, right after the service, and we were getting out of the service to do the reception portion, it was snowing these gigantic, I call them Harry Potter snowflakes, where they're like the size of a quarter, just these gorgeous snowflakes. So it was snowing really huge flakes, and there were people there visiting, for the funeral from Arizona, and they were out in the snow with us. So we were just kind of, enjoying our time to see the beautiful snowflakes and everything. And so then we stayed. Later after the reception, there was a dinner from all the cousins, got together, and some, aunts and uncles and people. So we stayed there for that, and then drove back home. The roads weren't bad. We were wondering if they would be, but they weren't. So we drove back to Chicago that evening after the dinner. And that was so nice, so sad to have to go through the memories and everything of her, but to get together with family. We haven't seen these cousins and things in years. It always takes either a tragedy or like a birth, and usually it's more of the tragedy, to get people together like that. So there is a huge blessing involved there, and so I'm so glad that we had that experience and got to go there and reconnect with people. We had people coming from all over the place. different countries, everything, to be there for that. So it was great. These are people we don't get to see very often. So it was wonderful to get to see them. So then the next day, we decided to spend the day downtown Chicago with my sister-in-law and her husband. Love them. And just sort of shop around on Michigan Avenue and look at the pretty sights and the Christmas decorations and so forth. So we did that and had lunch and so forth. That was great. And then we rested a little bit, just kind of regrouped and relaxed at the hotel for a little bit. And then we met for dinner that night with them, and that was great. And then we flew home early the next morning. So being that we had to fly away for the funeral and, you know, the sad times and the sad situation, it was turned into a good thing, obviously, to celebrate her life, but to be able to get together with people that we love, and got to see some snowflakes, which really did help me. Because moving to Florida is another thing. This is the first Christmas. Just sounds like, oh, wow, poor you. But I love snow. I am one of those people who still, to this day, I'm 58, and I still, when the first snowflake starts coming down, I'm the one running to the window going, oh my God, it's snowing! You know, so I'm just that person. It's just, it's magic. I just love it. And it's just in me. It's in my soul, you know. And to not have that, and it's, you know, at least I'm wearing sweaters, and it's comfortable, you know. It's been chilly, it's been kind of cold, and we've had the less sunny weather, you know. It's been more overcast a little bit, so it's winter here, you know, but we still have days in the 80s, so it's just different. I didn't really have the fall. I didn't have the geese going over honking that I love so much in the fall, or the leaves turning, or all the pumpkins, all that kind of thing. You know, it just wasn't here. It wasn't part of it, you know, and all that kind of thing. Thanksgiving was interesting because it was almost warm enough to eat outside, you know, but whatever, you know, we celebrated, we had a good time. It was all good. But it's been different, you know, we're in a different house, different environment, different climate, different clothing, different everything, you know, so it's just been an adjustment, another adjustment. So that, on top of losing the parents, having another funeral, it's been different. It's been different. And I have, you know, most of the time I'm perfectly normal, perfectly happy, you know. I do definitely feel this season, though, an extra weight on my heart, and I am working through it. Because again, I am determined that I don't want some bad situations to sour my feelings of all the joy and all the love and what Christmas is supposed to be. You know, for me, you know, religious aspect aside, for me, it's about love and about family and about fun and about relaxing and about enjoying nature. And for me, that has always been like going out in the snow, you know what I mean? Or whatever nature you've got, wherever you are, because obviously that's different here now. Spending time doing fun things, going to festivals, going to fun dinners, whatever you can do, you know, walking around and just looking at the lights, or driving around and looking at the fun lights that people put on their houses, you know, for the holidays, things like that. Botanical gardens are usually fun to go to. We're going on Sunday, tomorrow, if the weather cooperates, to a real fun light thing at a botanical garden. So that'll be fun. So to me, that's what it's all about. Doing jigsaw puzzles, playing Monopoly, you know, making fun meals and watching movies and all that kind of thing. So that's what Christmas is about, and I don't ever want to lose that with my loved ones. And I have a small family. You know, my immediate family is just my mom, my dad, my sister, and I. And my mom and dad are not here anymore, so it's just my sister and I, and we are constantly in communication, talking several times a day. You know, we text at least several times a day, and we're both extremely cognizant of the fact that when it comes to the original four, you know, the Fab Four, we're all we have left. And all our grandparents are gone and all that kind of thing. We have aunts and uncles still, and I keep in touch with them as much as possible also. It's just the family's dwindling. I'm at that age. It happens. You get older and the family dwindles. And plus, we didn't have large families to begin with. My mother's side of the family was very huge, so I do have lots of aunts and uncles there and so forth, and lots of cousins, which is wonderful. So that is what's happening here on an emotional side. But some other great things have been going on too. You know, neat things. I'll just quickly touch on those just to kind of catch you up on what's happening. And then a couple frustrating things. So that's the emotional Christmas side. Now let's get to the things that have been kind of going on. When we went to on our trip to Italy for our 35th wedding anniversary. Jim and I did that in September. And we found this lovely, we were walking to dinner the first night, and there was this sculpture that was basically attached to this side of this thing. We walked past it, and we both pointed it out, and I took a picture of it, thinking that was the last I'd see of it, how much I really enjoyed that. I thought that was lovely. So then a couple days later, we were walking past a store where we saw the artist who made that and other pieces very similar to that. So we went in. Actually, he was having lunch and the door was locked, but we were kind of looking so much and like trying the door that he came and let us in. And we explained that, oh, we love that thing, and look, here it is, but it's a little bigger than what we'd like, and we wish it was a little bit smaller. And so he said he'd make one for us, which was wonderful. So he got the exact dimensions we wanted, and we gave him our address and gave him a bunch of money and hoped and prayed that we'd find it again on our doorstep someday, here in Florida. So loved this man. He was absolutely precious. So we finally got to the place where he said it was ready, we're going to send it, and then we had all kinds of shipping issues. And oh my gosh, are we ever going to see this, and is it going to be in one piece when we do? Anyway, it did arrive, and thank goodness we got it in one piece. It's beautiful. I love it, and we have it. So that is our anniversary gift to ourselves that we'll always remember, and it's currently over on the kitchen table. And it's set up so that we can wire a light to be inside for it to be lit up. I could also put like a candle inside, or just leave it as a sculpture, either way. And we haven't done anything yet to that. It's just sitting there. It's beautiful. So loving it. And I'm so pleased that made it in one piece, because I was seriously I was not convinced we'd ever see it. It had the wrong address on it at one point, and so it was crazy. So we did get that. And here's a little bit of me unboxing it. So I'm so happy. It made it. We got it. It's beautiful. It'll always remind us of our trip. And yeah, so that's really good news. Very happy with that. And I mentioned my trip to Chicago. It was just so much fun. Here's a little bit of just a few pictures and things of us doing our thing and being with my sister-in-law and brother-in-law. I didn't take a bunch of pictures or anything at the funeral and the get-togethers. That just didn't seem right. So not anything I want to share anyway. So, but here's a little bit of that. Now, quickly, updates. I have an update on the California closet situation. That has been a much longer situation than we had originally planned. The original time that they came to install the whole thing was on November 10th. And weeks prior to that, we had taken everything out of our closets to tear out the old system, repair the walls, paint the walls whatever color we wanted before the people came in. We had to do some electrical rewiring too before the people came in to install the California closets. So it was almost a month before they even came to install it on the 10th. So we're gonna say like October 10th was around the time that we started this whole tear out project, and all of our clothing has been around the perimeter of our bedroom. All the hang up clothes have just been thrown in a pile I'm trying to sort through. It has not been easy. Okay, so it's been going on since October 10th. To this day, December 16th, I still have all of my clothing, all of my shoes, all of my handbags, everything all piled up in the corners and edges of my bedroom where we sleep. We're just climbing over it. It's been rough. So what happened was, when the closets were installed on the 10th of November, the drawers were the wrong size and they had to remake the drawers. We knew we had to wait for drawer fronts because we did a special front for the drawers and those weren't made yet. So that was something that was going to take a little bit of extra time, but the drawers themselves were not the right size and the whole drawer boxes had to be remade. And there were a couple other things that weren't quite ready, like the laundry bags were the wrong size. Those had to be reordered. And there's a wire pull-out thing for my husband's dry cleaning in his side of the closet. We have 2 closets, and his side was pretty much done except for some doors that had a lock for a safe, that kind of thing, and then the pull-out drawers. So there were just bits and pieces from both closets that still weren't ready and had to be made and had to be sent and all that kind of thing, ordered. So that took a while, and then they came back to do something and realized that the drawers, something else was wrong, and it's just been this long, drawn-out thing. Well, today, in a few hours, they're supposed to be here between 2 and 4 to completely finalize the whole thing. And I cannot even begin to tell you how incredibly excited I am to absolutely be able to put my things back in my closet and be able to get dressed without having to look at some pile on the floor and sort through it and try not to get everything destroyed. And, you know, oh my gosh, I am so excited. So I've been keeping it all out, mostly for the fact that I wanted to be able to videotape what the closets look like new once they're, you know, the stuff is all done, so that I could show you guys and to have it for myself too, just to see what it's all like without all my stuff in there. You know, you can see it better. So I'm excited. Today is the day it's supposed to be finished, and I have all hopes and dreams that it will actually come true and it will all be done and it'll all be right, it'll all fit, and everything will be great. And I can actually put the things back in and use. So fingers crossed that works out well today. In the meantime, the reason I'm home alone today, which is very, very rare, I tell you, there's always something going on here, is that Claire and Gracie are coming. They're going to be here through the 1st of January. So I get them for 2 full weeks. Very, very excited. And the way we're getting them this time is that Jim and Callie, my older daughter, are driving there right now to actually Savannah, Georgia. My daughter lives in North Carolina. Her boyfriend is driving her and Gracie down to Savannah, and Jim and Callie are going to Savannah, and they're meeting at a place, and they found, I believe, a dog-friendly restaurant so Gracie can go into. They're gonna have lunch, and then Callie, Claire, Gracie, and Jim are all gonna drive here. And she's gonna be here for Christmas and all the way through New Year's. And then her boyfriend is going to be driving back to come get her. He'll be here for a while at for New Year's and celebrations and stuff, and then they're driving back together. So I will have them, and I'm so excited. So little Gracie's on her way. I'll have her for 2 weeks. I'll have my sweet Claire. We have some dinners planned. We just have a very relaxed, at-home family Christmas. We're gonna do some things in the area. We're going to go to some light displays. We're gonna bake cookies. We're gonna watch movies. We're gonna play games. We're gonna do puzzles, and I can't wait. So that is what my Christmas is going to be like for the next couple weeks. And I want to enjoy every last second of all of that, because to me, especially now when I'm really feeling the loss of a giant majority of my family, that's what's important. That is absolutely what's important. So, and Claire even asked me the other day, she's like, Mom, what do you want for Christmas? I'm like, I just want you to be here. I just want you here, and I'm getting that. So it's all I need. It's all I want. And it's true. I don't need anything. I don't want anything. I want my family. I want, the happy times. I want the fun memories. I want that kind of thing. And that does seem like what I'm going to be getting. So look at me, I'm all teared up because it's important to me. So anyway, I just wanted to share that. I've been a little missing in action. I get that. It's been a couple weeks since my last video, but I'm still with it. I'm still doing these things. don't worry about me. I am fine. I am more than fine. We have some more changes happening on the horizon going into the first part of the year. Nothing I really want to discuss right now. Nothing horrible at all. As a matter of fact, just could be kind of interesting. So just things, just life things, you know, that might just head us in a new direction or whatever. We're still probably going to stay here a while, but we'll see. You know what I mean? It's like we don't know exactly how long we'll be anywhere at this point in time. So, and it's a good thing. It's all a good thing. And I just have some other plans and things happening. So I'm just sort of busy working on that stuff. And you're always on my mind. I'm always thinking of you guys and love you to pieces. And all the relationships I've made with you guys have been fantastic. So don't know how much, if any, I will record in these next couple weeks, but I will definitely do my best to get a few things out there that seem relevant when the time, you know, when it presents itself. And just know that I love you and know that I wish the very best for you, and happy holidays, whatever holiday, if any, you celebrate. Just enjoy the last couple weeks of this year, and we're gonna see you on the next side, but I'll pretty much see you before then. So love you. Take care. Bye.